Have you ever walked out of a busy place feeling completely drained, exhausted, or even a little bit wobbly, wondering why you felt so much more tired than when you went in? Many of us, as we get a little older, find that places we once navigated with ease now leave us feeling vulnerable. Or, even worse, contribute to unexpected health issues. It's a silent struggle for many, an unspoken concern that often gets dismissed as just getting old. But what if I told you that some of the places we regularly visit are quietly undermining our health, making us more susceptible to accidents, illness, and even emotional strain? It's not about staying cooped up at home. Far from it, it's about being smart, being aware, and reclaiming our well-being. There are certain environments that, while seemingly harmless, can become surprisingly dangerous for our bodies and minds as we navigate our 60s, 70s, and beyond. In this video, we're going to uncover 6 such places. We'll talk about why they can be risky and, more importantly, what you can do to protect yourself while still living a full, active life. Make sure you watch right to the very end, because I'll share a crucial insight that might truly surprise you and change how you think about staying safe and vibrant. Let's start right away with the first place that might be quietly posing a risk to your health: overly crowded, noisy public spaces. Think about your local shopping mall during the busiest weekend hours, a popular tourist attraction packed with people, or a bustling restaurant where you can barely hear yourself think. While these places might seem like just a normal part of life, for those of us aged 65 to 80, they can become surprisingly challenging. The immediate risk that often comes to mind is the chance of a fall. In a densely packed area, it's easy to get bumped, lose your footing, or become disoriented, especially with so many people moving quickly in different directions. A fall at our age isn't just a minor inconvenience. It can lead to serious injuries like fractures, sprains, or even head trauma, which can have long-lasting effects on our independence and quality of life. Beyond the physical danger, there's the often overlooked toll on our mental and emotional well-being. The constant noise, the sensory overload from so many sights and sounds, and the sheer number of people can trigger significant stress and anxiety. You might find your heart racing, feel overwhelmed, or simply become exhausted after only a short time in such an environment. This isn't just about feeling tired. Chronic stress can negatively impact your blood pressure, sleep patterns, and overall immune system, making you more susceptible to illness. And let's not forget the germs. In crowded spaces, airborne viruses and bacteria are easily shared, increasing your risk of catching a cold, the flu, or other infections, which can hit harder as we age. So, how do we navigate these situations without retreating entirely? It's all about smart planning and awareness. Whenever possible, try to visit these places during off-peak hours. That might mean going to the grocery store or mall first thing in the morning, or perhaps later in the evening when fewer people are around. If you're going to a special event, consider arriving early or staying a little later to avoid the main rush. When you are in a crowded area, stay present and aware of your surroundings. Avoid looking down at your phone, and keep your gaze up to anticipate movements around you. Wearing comfortable, supportive shoes with good grip is absolutely essential for stability. If you feel overwhelmed, don't hesitate to find a quiet spot to rest for a few minutes. Perhaps a bench in a less trafficked area, or even a quiet corner of a shop. Bringing a small bottle of hand sanitizer is always a good idea too, especially after touching public surfaces. If you have someone to go with, bringing a trusted friend or family member can provide extra support and help you navigate more safely. They can help carry bags, keep an eye out for potential hazards, and simply offer a sense of security. Remember, your comfort and safety come first. Now that we've explored the challenges of crowded spaces, let's consider another environment that can secretly undermine your well-being: areas with high fall risks. Falls are the leading cause of injury and accidental death for older adults, and they can often be traced back to seemingly innocuous places. We're talking about uneven pavements, dimly lit stairwells, cluttered walkways, or even icy patches during winter. And while these might not scream danger to everyone, for our age group, They are silent hazards lurking everywhere. A hidden curb, a loose rug, or a dark corridor can lead to a quick slip or trip, resulting in devastating consequences like hip fractures, wrist breaks, or concussions. These injuries often require extensive recovery periods, sometimes leading to a loss of independence and significantly impacting quality of life. It's not about being clumsy. It's about acknowledging that our balance, strength, and even our vision can change with age, making us more susceptible to these everyday dangers. So, what can we do to protect ourselves? The first step is awareness. Whenever you're out and about, actively scan your environment for potential hazards. Look out for cracks in the pavement, puddles, or changes in surface. If you're approaching stairs, always use the handrail, even if you feel perfectly steady. At home, be proactive about fall prevention. Ensure all areas are well lit, especially hallways, staircases, and bathrooms. Consider adding night lights if you get up during the night. Remove any loose rugs or secure them firmly to the floor. Keep pathways clear of clutter, such as electrical cords, newspapers, or small pieces of furniture that could be trip hazards. For your footwear, prioritize comfort and stability over fashion. Choose shoes that have good ankle support, non-slip soles, and fit well without being too loose or too tight. Even inside the house, consider wearing supportive slippers instead of going barefoot, especially on hard floors. Regular exercise, particularly activities that improve balance like Tai Chi or gentle yoga, can significantly reduce your risk of falls by strengthening your muscles and improving your coordination. If you find yourself feeling unsteady more often, don't hesitate to talk to your doctor. They might recommend a physical therapist who can provide specific exercises or suggest assistive devices like a cane or walker, which can offer valuable support and confidence. Remember, preventing a fall is always better than recovering from one. It's about being smart and taking simple, preventative steps to keep yourself safe and independent. Having talked about the challenges of crowded spaces and places with fall risks, let's turn our attention to two more critical areas that could be silently affecting your health. First, let's talk about environments with poor air quality. This might not be a place you think of avoiding, but it's a pervasive risk that can have a profound impact on your respiratory and cardiovascular health as you age. Think about walking near a busy intersection where car exhaust fumes are heavy, visiting an older building with poor ventilation, or even being in an enclosed space where strong chemical cleaners or perfumes are used excessively. For many, these environments are simply part of daily life. But for those aged 65 to 80, the air we breathe can become a significant concern. Our lungs naturally become less efficient with age, and conditions like asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or even common allergies can be exacerbated by airborne pollutants. Fine particulate matter from vehicle exhaust, industrial emissions, or even smoke from burning wood can enter your bloodstream, affecting not only your lungs, but also your heart. Exposure to poor air quality can lead to symptoms like coughing, wheezing, shortness of breath, and chest tightness. Over time, consistent exposure can contribute to more serious health issues, including heart attacks, strokes, and increased susceptibility to respiratory infections. Furthermore, strong chemical fumes, or even very potent scents from things like air fresheners or perfumes, can trigger headaches, nausea, or breathing difficulties in sensitive individuals. It's an invisible threat, but a very real one. So, how can you protect yourself? One key step is to become aware of air quality forecasts in your area, especially if you live near major roads or industrial zones. Many weather apps and websites provide this information. On days with high pollution levels, it's wise to limit outdoor activities, especially during peak traffic times. If you need to be out, consider wearing a basic mask that can filter out some larger particles, though for very fine particles, you might need a more specialized respirator. Indoors, ensure good ventilation in your home by opening windows when the outdoor air quality is good, or by using air purifiers with HEPA filters. Be mindful of the products you use for cleaning or hobbies. Opt for low VOC volatile organic compound paints and cleaners, and always ensure good airflow when working with chemicals. If you're sensitive to perfumes, Politely explain this to friends or family. And try to avoid highly scented public spaces like certain stores or salons if possible. Regularly checking in with your doctor about your lung and heart health, especially if you experience persistent respiratory symptoms, is also vital. Breathing well is fundamental to living well, and taking proactive steps to ensure the air you breathe is as clean as possible is an investment in your long-term health. Next, let's talk about a place that might seem completely harmless, even relaxing, but can hold hidden dangers: the all-you-can-eat buffet and fast food hotspots. For many of us, the idea of a buffet is a treat, a chance to try a little bit of everything. But when you're in your mid-60s to 80, these seemingly innocent venues can pose a surprising number of health risks. Firstly, there's the sheer temptation to overeat. Our metabolism naturally slows down as we age, and our bodies don't process large, heavy meals as efficiently as they once did. Piling up plates can lead to uncomfortable digestive upset, acid reflux, or even put undue strain on your heart, especially if you have underlying conditions like high blood pressure or diabetes. A sudden spike in blood sugar after a carb-heavy meal can leave you feeling sluggish, lightheaded, or just plain unwell. Beyond the quantity, consider the quality of the food often found at buffets and typical fast food restaurants. They frequently feature highly processed items, deep-fried dishes, sugary desserts, and creamy sauces that are loaded with unhealthy fats, sodium, and refined sugars. While a little indulgence is fine now and then, making these places a regular stop can contribute to chronic issues like elevated cholesterol, weight gain, and difficulty managing blood sugar levels. And let's not forget the hygiene aspect, especially at buffets. With so many people serving themselves from open food trays, there's an increased risk of cross-contamination and the spread of germs. It's a sad reality, but it's something we need to be mindful of. So, what can you do if you still enjoy the social aspect of dining out, or find yourself at a buffet with family? It's all about strategy and mindful choices. Instead of seeing it as a challenge to get your money's worth, view it as an opportunity to select wisely. Start your plate with a generous portion of colorful vegetables and lean protein, like grilled chicken or fish. If available, fill half your plate with these healthy options first. Then, if you want to try a smaller portion of something richer, you'll already be mostly full on nutritious foods. Skip the sugary drinks and opt for water. Take your time, eat slowly, and truly savor each bite. Listen to your body's cues for fullness, and don't feel pressured to finish everything on your plate, or to go back for seconds if you're already satisfied. When it comes to fast food, research menus online beforehand. Many chains now offer healthier options like salads with dressing on the side, grilled chicken sandwiches, or fruit. Making these smart, conscious choices can transform a potential health hazard into an enjoyable, yet controlled, dining experience that supports your long-term health and well-being. Next, we'll dive into high-germ public hotspots and a surprising sixth place that demands our attention. Continuing our discussion on places that can pose risks to your health, let's talk about high-germ public hotspots. As we age, our immune systems naturally become a little less robust, making us more susceptible to infections. Places where many people congregate and touch common surfaces become breeding grounds for viruses and bacteria. Think about public restrooms, busy clinic waiting rooms, not necessarily the one you're visiting for your own checkup, but perhaps accompanying someone, or even just passing through and public transport during peak flu season. The surfaces we touch, from doorknobs and handrails to shared touchscreens and shopping cart handles, are teeming with invisible threats that can lead to colds, flu, stomach bugs, and other more serious infections. While we can't avoid all germs, being mindful of these hotspots is crucial for maintaining your health. So, what are the actionable steps you can take? The golden rule is frequent and thorough hand hygiene. Wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, especially after using the restroom, before eating, and after being in a public place. If soap and water aren't available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol. Make it a habit to avoid touching your face, your eyes, nose, and mouth, as this is how many germs enter your body when you're out shopping. Consider carrying a small pack of disinfectant wipes to quickly clean the handle of your grocery cart before you use it during flu season, or when community infection rates are high. Try to maintain a little more distance from others in crowded public spaces. If possible, if you start to feel unwell, especially with symptoms like a cough, fever, or sore throat, it's always best to stay home to avoid spreading germs to others and to give your body the rest it needs to recover. Staying up to date on your vaccinations, like the flu shot, pneumonia vaccine, and shingles vaccine, is also a powerful way to bolster your defenses against common illnesses. Remember, these simple practices are your best allies in navigating germ-laden environments safely. Finally, let's address a surprising sixth place that, while not inherently dangerous, can become a significant health risk if not approached with careful planning, isolated or difficult to access rural areas without proper preparation and support. For many of us, the idea of a quiet country home, a secluded cabin, or simply a place far from the hustle and bustle of city life is incredibly appealing. It evokes a sense of peace, tranquility, and independence. And while these environments can be wonderfully restorative, they can also pose unique challenges to our health and well-being, particularly as we get older. The primary concern is often the distance from emergency services. If you experience a fall, a sudden medical emergency, or even just need urgent assistance, being far from a hospital or first responders can mean critical delays in care. Poor mobile phone reception or unreliable internet can further compound this issue, making it difficult to call for help when you need it most. Beyond immediate emergencies, living in isolation can have a profound impact on your mental health. While solitude can be wonderful, chronic social isolation and loneliness are serious health risks, linked to higher rates of depression, anxiety, and even cognitive decline. If your primary residence or a frequent retreat is in a remote area, and you live alone or have limited nearby social connections, you might find yourself feeling more isolated than you anticipated. Furthermore, accessing essential services like grocery stores, pharmacies, and specialist medical appointments can become a logistical challenge, leading to missed appointments or a decline in your nutrition if healthy food is hard to come by. So, if you're drawn to or already live in such an environment, how can you ensure it remains a place of peace, not peril? The key is proactive planning and building a robust support network. First, create a clear emergency plan. Know the exact address of your nearest emergency services, and ensure your home address is clearly visible for responders. Consider investing in a medical alert system that can automatically call for help if you fall or need assistance. If cell service is spotty, explore satellite communication devices or a landline connection. Second, actively cultivate your social connections. Don't rely solely on serendipitous encounters. Join local clubs, volunteer groups, or community events. Make a point of regularly calling or video chatting with friends and family. Consider arranging a rotating schedule where a neighbor or friend checks in on you daily, even with a quick phone call. Third, plan your logistics carefully. Batch your grocery shopping trips. Look into local delivery services, and schedule your medical appointments in advance, perhaps combining several on one trip to town. Having a reliable mode of transportation or a trusted person who can help with transport is also vital. Remember, living in a peaceful, remote setting doesn't mean being disconnected or unprepared. It means being thoughtful and deliberate about building a safety net and ensuring that help, company, and necessary supplies are always within reach. Remember, the goal here isn't to make you afraid or to keep you locked away at home. Quite the opposite. It's about empowering you with knowledge, so you can make informed choices and continue to live a vibrant, active, and healthy life. We've talked about recognizing the risks in overly crowded places, being aware of fall hazards, protecting yourself from poor air quality, making smart choices at buffets and fast food spots, understanding high germ areas, and planning carefully if you enjoy isolated rural settings. These aren't prohibitions, but rather invitations to pause, assess, and adapt. I'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed any of these challenges in your own life? What strategies have you found helpful to stay safe and well when you're out and about? Share your wisdom in the comments below. Your experience could help countless others. If this video has given you something to think about, please give it a thumbs up. And consider subscribing to the channel for more practical advice and empowering discussions designed just for you. You have so much life to live, so much joy to experience. By being mindful of our surroundings and making a few smart adjustments, we can truly thrive. Stay independent and embrace every moment with confidence and vitality. Live your best life at every age